Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. It's a gloomy Friday in New York, and today I'm not going outside to do my video. I'm gonna stay inside. Today I would like to do some Pilates with you guys. So let's get down to it. In Pilates, as you guys all know, the alignment is the key. So let's sit up and align ourselves. I'm gonna turn in the profile to you. Have my feet down on the floor. I'm gonna try to align my spine. The tailbone is gonna be pointing away from me because that's how the human tailbone goes. The lower back is gonna slightly curve. Then the middle back is gonna lengthen and the upper back is gonna lengthen a lot. Now the whole upper back of mine, I'm gonna try to make it wide as well. So how am I gonna do it? I'm gonna try to gain control over these bones, the shoulder blades. I'm gonna try to separate them, make them a little bit wider. Also with those shoulder blades, the connection between the shoulder blade and the shoulder, I'm also gonna try to increase that space. And that's what's gonna make my back feel really, really strong and wide and flat. That also is gonna take care of the front of my body, making the front of my body more open. And as I breathe in and out in this position, my lungs gonna have easier time to expand, taking the air in. So lots of us think that as we breathe, the air just goes through the nose, into the chest, into the belly. Wrong. There's no lungs in our bellies. The lungs are in our backs, underneath the shoulder blades. So that is the part of our backs that we really, really have to open up and expand in order for us to consume enough oxygen so we can keep moving. All right, so right now, let's try to practice that kind of breathing. I'm gonna sit up on top of my sit bones. I'm gonna put my hands on my rib cage. And as I breathe in, I'm gonna try to expand the lungs. As I exhale, they're gonna shrink because the air is leaving. As the air is leaving, the ribs shrink and I pull them down consciously. And that is a part of the trick in Pilates. As you pull your rib cage down towards your hips, you're gonna activate the core muscles and the upper back, which is a core as well. So let's practice it for a couple more breaths. Taking an inhale, expanding your lungs, expanding your backs sideways, making this whole space wider. And as you exhale, try to shrink it and pull it down. At the same time, as you're pulling the spine upwards. So there's two things happening at once. You're lengthening your spine upwards and you're pulling the rib cage. I usually call it a bucket of ribs. You pull it down towards your hips. That's gonna give your body sensation of being wide and tall at the same time. Also, what is the best thing about it, what I like the best, is the muscles of your core gonna really start supporting your spinal column. And that's what we actually all need. Spinal column and the shoulders. Once all of those components fall into places, we're good to go. So, having done it maybe 2 or 3 times, breathing and expanding. Exhale, shrink, pull back. Let's have you guys lie down on the floor. So we're gonna lie down on your backs, flat, and see how the floor supporting your backs right now. Having your neck relaxed, having the back of your head on the floor, definitely for sure. Having your hip flexors right here, the place where your thigh bone connects to your hip. Let's try to have this spot relaxed. Also, the corresponding place in the back of your body, corresponding place to the hip flexor, is really your lower back. That's where the leg attaches to the hip. We do want to relax it here and increase the space between the femur bone, the thigh bone, and your hip bones. So let's try to have the legs relaxed. Let's try to have the upper body wide. Again, practicing the same kind of breathing we performed sitting up. Inhale, making your ribs wide, making your shoulder blades wide, making your shoulders a little bit wider. As you exhale, let's keep that flatness in the upper back going. Just try to pull the rib cages together and pull them down towards your hips. It takes a little bit of a practice to do those things because in everyday life we usually don't do that, and we should. So let's try to practice it by pressing your upper middle backs into the floor and see if we can find the connection of the floor and the muscles of your body. As you expanding your body sideways, it should feel like, wow, like you're almost hugging the mat, hugging the floor with your body. And as you exhale and shrinking, it's like you're almost moving, but you're not. You're still lying down on your mat. Isn't it cool? And with the next exhale, what I would like you guys to do is make sure your feet are firmly into the floor, all 10 toes. Make sure your knees are definitely bent. And I'm going to lift up my arms, but you guys don't have to. I just wanted you to see what I'm going to do. You're going to exhale, connect your lower abdominals to your lower back, and start lifting your back bone by bone, coming up to flat back. Flatten your torso, flatten your back. Well, the lower back cannot be flattened really, so it's only the upper back that we're talking about. Now, the next exhale is going to be a little tricky. You're going to start putting your spine down bone by bone. Try to do like 1 or 2 bones at a time. So we do it just to make spaces in between those bones, to increase the spaces between the vertebrae. It's going to make your spine feel more supple. It's going to make you feel a little taller and a little more in control of your own muscles. So we're going to do it about 4 or 5 times in a row. Exhale. Rolling it up. Even amount of weight on both feet. That's a must. And the next exhale, again, rolling down, trying to put your spine down bone by bone, lengthening it upwards through the head, lengthening through your tailbone, coming back into the same alignment as we had standing up. Lower back slightly curving, tailbone is pressed into the floor right now, upper back is wide. 3 more. Exhale, roll it up. And the next exhale, roll it down. So let me just put another thing out there for you guys to think about. As you lifting your spine up, by the way, don't do what I'm doing right now. As you lifting your spine up, you shouldn't be moving your head side to side. It's just not very good for your neck. So just keep your head straight in line with the spine as you're lifting up and as you lengthen it down. So once you lift your spine up, do sink your big toes into the floor. Do engage the inner thighs of your legs. As you're lengthening your spine all the way down, those inner thighs are still engaged. So the inner thigh, this part of your leg, is actually doing more work than this part of your leg, the quadricep. It's an unusual kind of situation for the leg. Normally, the legs work more in front than on the inside. The inner thigh is probably the most underworked part of our leg. And that's why it is important to give it a little workout right now. So let's go 2 more times like that. Exhale, rolling up, flattening, pressing your 10 toes in, opening the shoulders. Exhale, rolling down. And 1 more time, let this one be the last one. And let it go down, 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 down. And it should feel really good. It should feel like an opening, like kind of a breath of a fresh air into the bones, which is totally illogical. There is no lungs in the bones. But if you guys do it enough times with the right intention, it's going to start feeling really good. Now I'm sliding myself forward so you guys can see what I'm about to do. Let's bring our hands behind our heads. So right now, as you can see, my lower back is curving up slightly. So the lower back curve is going to stay in place. I'm going to try to make an effort to put the ribs down onto the floor as I'm lifting my head. As I exhale, everything right here in my pelvis is going to stay flat. I'm going to try to pull the ribs down towards the hips, close them and pull them down. So the effort of me coming up in this crunch is really coming from the core. I'm not making it happen from the neck or from the shoulders. That is important. The shoulders, I try to pull them towards the hips, so it's not as strenuous for me to come up. Now, the last thing, but not the least, super important as well, the muscles of the legs. At this moment, the muscles of the legs do absolutely nothing. It's like if they did not exist in our world right now. You exhale. You inhale, press your tailbones down. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, I'm going to put one of my hands down so you can see how I place my head down with the curve of the neck. And every time my head goes down, I try to make an illusion of getting my torso a little bit taller, placing my head a little bit farther back than it was before. Let's do one more just because. Exhale. Inhale. And now with the same idea, I'm going to switch myself a little bit more this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do the twists towards the leg, right? So as I do those twists, I am thinking of bringing my solar plexus towards my leg, bringing my nose towards my leg. I'm not going to try to twist and fall on the side. I'm going to be in control because the middle of my body is going to try to reach for the leg. So I'm going to go exhale, inhale. Again, I'm going to put one hand down so you guys can see better what I'm doing. And you can do the same thing. Now, if you have any kind of neck problems, shoulder problems, definitely always support your head with one or both arms. So 4 times to each leg should be plenty. Think of bringing the middle of your body towards the leg. The middle of your body towards the leg. And yeah, very important point, the tailbone is still pressed down into the floor. And so is your lower abdominals, flat. And that was 4 and 4. And now let's do different kind of combos with that, shall we? Let's do 2 forward, 2 to the side, 2 to the side, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So here we go. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. And 2 to the side. Shoulder blades come off the floor, shoulders pulled down to your hips. And the other side we go. And 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's just do 1, 1, 1. 1. And 1. And 1. And guess what? We're done. That I'm pumped. So let's bring your knees to your chest and just rock yourselves right and left. And just a little thing with the lower body that I would like you guys to do. So I'm sliding myself up and the legs. So I would like you guys to keep your tailbones down on the floor. Lower abdominals flat. And here we go. Flex. And point. And flex. And point, flex, point, flex, point. Now we're going to stay pointed. We're going to keep your tailbone down, lower abdominals flat. Flex, legs up, point, bend. Flex, legs up, point, bend. Now, if your legs are tight in the back, which is totally possible, that's what you do. You flex. Straighten only as far as they go, but do make sure that your quadricep is at 90-degree angle in relation to your body. The closer your leg comes to you, you're still okay. But you got to make sure that your tailbone is not coming off the floor. So make sure your tailbone stays down. Now, this kind of situation where the leg and the body are at the greater angle than the 90 degree is no good. So 90 or less. Flex. Up. Point. Bend. Flex. Up. Point. Bend. And let's relax those things, place them down. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of a more advanced exercise, but we still can do it. So, I'm sliding myself down. Again, my tailbone is going to be flat on the floor, my pelvis is flat. I'm going to start with my knees over my hips. And with one foot, I'm reaching down and bringing it back. So what is the whole point of this movement, you're going to ask? The point here is where my hand is at, the lower abdominals really, really, really working hard. The tailbone is pressed down. My lower back is not doing this, right? My whole torso is very stable. And my foot is reaching for the floor, reaching for the floor. And now I'm going to go on the other side, doing the same thing with the other leg. Poke. Poke my mat. So at this point, my abdominals right here, I'm really feeling the work happening. Arms down by your sides. And if you guys feel like maybe 6 and 6 on each leg did not get you tired, try to do it with both legs. But a word of warning, both legs are harder than one at a time. And you really need to make sure that nothing here going up and down, yeah? So the tailbone is down, the whole torso is stabilized, and the legs are poke, and poke, and poke, and let's relax. And bring your knees together, rock yourselves right and left on your lower backs. And release it for a second. So now we're gonna do just a little stretch. Let me have you guys roll yourself up and have yourself like sit down with your legs extended. So if your legs are a little tight, have your knees bent. Do yourself a favor just to relax your upper body down towards your legs. So you may not be able to fold yourself over all the way, but no matter what kind of a bend you're experiencing right now, it's definitely beneficial for your backs. So see if you can just relax your necks, relax your heads, allow your body to go down in a very natural kind of way. Allow your torso to come forward and just see how far forward you can get yourself down. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down you go. Just breathe, breathe. And slowly come up, lengthen up, lengthen up, lengthen up. And now let's do this. Let me have you guys just bend one knee. And we're gonna drop this knee down towards the floor. I would like you guys to go down into the forward bend. And as you guys go into the forward bend, you're gonna go down straight into the middle of your body. Not over the straight leg, but through the middle. So see if you can press that knee down towards the floor a little bit more. See, mine doesn't press, it doesn't go down, but I still feel a lot of pull in my lower back, so I assume it's okay for me. And then I'm gonna just relax it down. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. This stretch is gonna give you quite a bit of a pull in your lower back, and definitely it's gonna target the hamstring, the back of your legs, which is good for everyone. So now we're gonna go on the other side, bend and drop, and we'll go for it. Try again, you guys, to have your weight even on both sides of your body. And as you go down, your main goal would be to release the body, Release the weight of the shoulders, the heads, the necks, everything. The more of the natural body weight goes down, the better the stretch is going to feel. So let's go all the way down, as far down as your body needs to. And with the following inhale, unfold yourself and come up. And thank you so much, everyone, for participating in our weekly fitness video. Have a good week, you guys. See you soon. Bye.